us get this show on the road. I have here a tunnel that does not scale. I will have to fix that. Well, good to know. I think for now I will just make a bigger window. I bet that's... Okay. I have here a tunnel in a bigger window. Interesting. This tunnel, unlike most of the tunnels you've seen before, is made of particles. In a previous stream, I covered particles, and I'm pretty sure I could just show what you usually think of when you think of particles is something like this, with tons and tons of particles flying around in a pattern. And each particle is this tiny little dot. But that's not what I have here. Because a particle doesn't have to be a tiny little dot. It can be any little thing in 3D. Or any big thing. We're actually about to get to that. It's going to keep happening. It could be any 3D model, really. So if you remember all these are the source models. I copied this one with different coloring. Or with coloring. It's currently without colors, but dozens and dozens of times, and made like a tunnel out of it. Yeah, so you arrange them like that, just tons of copies. Make a corner, make it extend farther, and you get a tunnel like this. And I mean, that was already done. The difference now is particles, because in theory, they're faster at certain things. Oh yeah, that could be the new bouncy tile look. It's the one I designed way back. I don't know, this might have even been before the big hiatus. It's been a while. But yeah, I did come up with that as a fancy new design. And I've not gotten around to adding it. But, oh right, you saw there for a moment, the first problem with this is that the whole thing vanished when I went like that. So that's the first problem I need to solve. Is the thing about these tiles, benefits include performance. You can have however many, does it say exactly? You can have 262,000 polygons on screen, and just running and moving at a smooth frame rate, which has never been the case for crumbling tiles. So the fact that I can have, in theory, I can have 262,000 crumbling tiles running at full speed. Okay, no, that's an exaggeration. These particles are a little more complicated than these ones, so it's a bit worse, but not much. And I don't need hundreds of thousands. I just need hundreds. In theory, this will improve performance. The fact that crumbling tiles are a little less predictable than these are all following a preset pattern, whereas crumbling tiles have to react to you, makes it harder, but I'm still hopeful. But, yeah, so one thing that's going on, well, the reason it's disappearing is because it thinks that the tunnel is off-screen. It doesn't want to render something that's off-screen. It's not off-screen, but it thinks it is, and why is that? It's because each tunnel, or each tile, has a starting point. Each particle, in fact, has a starting point, and it uses those starting points to just sort of estimate the boundaries of it. The thing about these tiles is that they're all starting, like, in the very center of the screen here, and up kind of close to the camera. They're all starting there, and then on the GPU, which, short version, GPU does fast rendering. On the GPU for fast rendering, it moves all of them from their starting point to, their tunnel arrangement thing. And I mean, that's cool. It's a fast way to move a couple hundred tiles into place and potentially have a couple hundred more fall out later on. But it means that when it that information that they're arranged in this tunnel shape is not available when it's trying to calculate how big the tunnel is for the purposes of telling if it's on screen. It thinks it's off screen right now. Because it really just thinks that this tunnel is a stack of 100 tiles, all dead center. In fact, I can show you what it thinks it looks like if I have code here somewhere. Is it over here? It's over here. If I remove the thing where it moves all the tiles into place. If we just leave it at its starting point, then what we have here is a couple hundred tiles all stacked like this. Some vertical, some horizontal, no other differences. And so it will do a pretty good job of always showing these when they're on screen. If they're even a little bit on screen, you get to see them, because but as soon as they're off screen, like at this point, it's going to have stopped rendering. And it starts rendering again once we pull the camera back and put them on the screen. So this is what it thinks it's dealing with. And I need to tell it that it's actually dealing with, this. That's going to be annoying. Yeah, that little plus shape goes off screen at that moment. I'm sorry, I'm not sure which link is out of date. Last I checked, all my links were working, but I don't know, someone might have cleared them since then. Although last I checked, I was using the same link for everything, so maybe all of my links are out of date. Not going to fix that right now, though. I'm streaming. Okay, so that's probably enough explaining the problem. Let's go fix it. So somewhere over here, I had a temporary thing. And actually, I'm going to show you what I'm actually doing, and then what it looks before I show you what it looks like I'm doing. So what I have done is I have added just one new tile, a custom tile, this far down, and its starting position is this far down. So these are the starting positions of all the particles, and now I will compile it and show the final positions. The new tile's final position is in exactly the same spot. Its starting position and its final position are the same, but with this single tile added, we can go this far down, and it won't disappear. But as soon as this floating tile in the middle goes off screen, the whole thing is going to vanish again. It's on screen, off screen. It's gone. So what we've done here is added a little bit of extra information. The thing's going to extend at least this far. Oh yeah, and as soon as that tile goes off screen to the left, it vanishes off screen there. It's not quite all the way down, so I don't know. Let's add a coordinate of about 20. Let's move it 40. Is this tunnel about 40 tiles long? Okay, that's pretty close. I don't know, add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 more tiles. It'll be far enough. So I think what we've done is we've pushed this tile all the way to the end. It's like off by 1, but whatever. So now that this one tile is down here, the system knows to keep rendering the tile all the way down, the tunnel all the way down here, and we can go all the way down without it vanishing. But, well, A, we don't want to have to display this extra tile in the middle, and B, it's not quite getting everything. It shouldn't have disappeared there, so we're going to add a couple of them. We're just going to copy-paste this. It's ugly, but whatever. Move them past the end. And we're going to do some different coordinates of we're going to push them out to the sides as well. So, okay, there we are. So now, down at the end, we have a tile. Oh, it's way far out. I should have been able to know that. But yeah, we have these 2 tiles all the way out here, indicating, you know, this is the... we need to keep rendering all the way out here. Though actually, we can do better. We can do a little better than that. instead of 2 tiles, we do 1. Where's my code completion? We're going to rotate it so that it's sort of vertical. Now we're going to fix that quickly. We're going to rotate it so it's sort of vertical and scale it so that a single tile is sort of big enough to cover the end of the tunnel. And then all the way down here, we have this one giant particle that indicates we need to keep rendering until this, we need it to be visible until it's all the way off screen. And now, the entire tunnel renders. And so this is not the actual solution because I don't want to have to display something like this, but it kind of communicates the it tells the system where exactly the boundaries lie, like the real boundaries, not the fake ones. Just as a reminder, let's go back and look at so what it's doing, it's calculating the boundaries of the tunnel. And it's doing that using this. Using this information plus this one extra piece. So by adding the one extra piece, we have greatly extended the boundaries from just previously things I only need to render when this small plus thing would be on screen. But now it says I need to render when either the plus would be on screen or anywhere all the way up to here would be on screen, which is exactly what we want. And now the trick is going to be to do that without having to display extra tiles. And this code here is my attempt at that. One way of doing it invisibly. That didn't really work out. And I don't know why, but I'd like to keep it around, but well, okay, we're going to go and I just want to look at what my code actually ends up doing. I've removed the special particle, and I have printed out some important information. Whoops, that's not the important information. The important information is down here. And I think I may have just found the issue. Or a couple issues. Okay, so the extra information that I displayed are the bounding boxes that it calculated. Hopefully it's kind of clear what a bounding box is, but I can go and do some visuals in Blender if you need that, so let me know in chat. And this information is a bounding box displayed in a like semi-readable format. The important number to take note of here is 48. Well, 48 plus a couple of extra things, but 48 is the length of the tunnel in tiles. And I have some custom code that calculated the length of the tunnel and entered it here with the hopes that it would render all the way up to 48, but it's not. And I think the important thing is I printed out two different bounding boxes. One is the local boundaries and the other is the world boundaries. And to make a long story short, the world boundaries are the ones that actually get used. And in the world boundaries, the maximum is not 48, it's 0.5, which, well, 0.5 is half a tile. That makes sense, but it means that it's ignoring my 48. I want it to go all the way down the tunnel, and instead of going all the way down the tunnel, it's going half a tile down the tunnel. And so the tunnel instantly vanishes. Not ideal. And so the problem is that I go and look at, we've got some world bounds. Well, that might be it. It might have been simpler than I thought. So once I make my changes to the bounds, once I put in 48, I gotta tell it, remember to update the world bounds as well, because I just made some changes to the boundaries. And no. Like, I don't even have to test. I can look down here and see that it's not 48 yet. So it will still disappear after we go more than 0.5 units down. What happened for the past 22 minutes? I have been trying to establish basics of what's going on here and the problems I'm facing, and the reason why, when I move the camera more than 0.5 tiles down the hallway, down the tunnel, the whole thing stops rendering. Okay, I am going to just do this the hard way, or just force this to happen. And when we update the bounds, we also immediately update the world bounds. And it doesn't work. Okay. You know what? Let's go take a look at this. So, I call this function. And it's supposed to update the world bounds based on the bounds. It's supposed to happen. Okay, debugging time. I'm just going to print out a bunch of information until I find some information that tells me what's actually happening. So we're looking at 180 and 181. It had... Oh, okay. so I think I may be looking at the wrong spot. Okay, that's all interesting. Somewhere in all this code was something half extent. I'm sorry, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at because it doesn't match up. Okay, we are going to use this. Oh wait, no, maybe we're not. Okay, we are. We're just going to use it the min, max, max. Okay, so it's the same order. Okay, we're going to call a function instead of trying to set stuff ourselves because maybe that matters. I might just be trying to input the... Okay, that did it. Yeah, I was just doing it wrong. Okay, so I have successfully told the game that this tunnel is 48 units long. And look at that. Yeah, technically I think it's still a tiny bit off. That it's... oh, it's more than a tiny bit off. Okay, so it is one tile off. So I have told it about... Okay, well, we made a lot of progress and we can delete that information. Oh right, it was over here. I might have to... not that I want to. I think I know what to do. What I need to do is let's go back in each tile. Actually, no, I shouldn't go back in there. I should go back into Blender because I do need to look this up, and it'll help me explain. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, each tile is centered in, you know, the center. And okay, so imagine if this tile was 48 units down, which it now is. So here we are, 48 units down, and we have taken into account the center point of this tile. And we have told it that the tunnel extends to y equals, z equals 48, but 48 units down is exactly at the center of this. But look, in this half, there is half of a tile beyond the 48 unit. And we haven't told it about that. So, Also, you know, it's, the main thing is I don't want to hard code add one half of a tile because we might have different shapes at some point. Or like, not just different shapes, but taking up different amounts of space. We might have long tiles or short tiles or whatever. Oh yeah, and as long as I'm here, I will reiterate, these were going to be the new bounce tiles, and I was going to do this to make them bounce. So, except faster. Ooh. Yeah. Still not guaranteed, but it's an idea. I've since started thinking of other possibilities. But anyway. Right. What I was going to do was, instead of having one overwrite the other, I was just sort of going to combine them. And basically this just assumes that the biggest tile is going to be at it's going to find the biggest tile, and it's going to assume that that's at every side of the tile, or every end of the tunnel, every side of the tunnel. It's going to assume that the biggest tile around is there. And these are all the same size, so it works. But it's not a big loss if that is visible up until the very moment it's off screen, and perhaps even further. Excellent. And with that, step 1 is done. So now we get to move on to other cool stuff. I just have to trust and assume that it vanishes when it's actually off screen, but pretty sure it does, because it has been pretty consistent in vanishing just before it's off screen, you know? Anyway. We don't need that, we don't need that. I want to add some animation. And I want to add it we're going to yeah, I think we're just going to do that. So based on... we don't need... do a little cleanup here. Okay, so we have a particle animator. And... you know, I actually kind of want to grab that as well. Oh no, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to... I think we're going to do that. So I want to go... so while loading particles, we have this init particle function, which has shown up on stream before, but I have not talked about it much. Way over here in the sample, we have a function. You remember this thing? There's actually a couple functions, but there's this bit of code, the section that I'm selecting, tells all of these particles where to start and where to go, and how long it takes, I think. Well, no, most of the time control is elsewhere, but where is it? I wonder if I change the duration, will it change anything? Nope. Okay. It doesn't tell it how long it takes, but it tells it where to start and where to go. And so I want to do some of that. So we need one of those. I'm going to need to import that. And then okay, so I'm doing a little code here. That's already going to be defined, but okay, I'm just going to copy this over and then change it for my purposes. So this is the code I need to set an endpoint and some information about the curve. I need to import this stuff. I wish it would find it for me. Okay, we got one. We got particle properties. That's in. One, two. Okay, it is. And do I need anything else? Okay, I think that's the information I need. Gonna do that. We're gonna do that. And somewhere over here, not there, here. I know it's taking a little bit, but I am setting up something that will hopefully be cool, and even more hopefully work first time, so I get to wow you all with my coding skills. Okay, whatever. I think that might do it. Huh. There is no control point. I need to make sure my code is being run. Okay, it is. I need to make sure my code is being run in order. It is not. That's why it's out of order. Okay. That should do it. Kind of, but not really. It was supposed to animate. Let's see if time is passing within the animation system. No. Time does not pass. Well, no, it kind of passed. Started and then instantly stopped. Zero, 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 zero. And I need to figure out why it's not animating. Okay, that could... Oh, no, that's not it. That's it. I was... Oof. I was converting seconds to milliseconds by dividing by 1,000 instead of multiplying. And then I rounded. And when I rounded... so seconds, each frame is 0.03 seconds. And I divide that by 1,000 for 0.0003 second, 0.0003 seconds. And then I round that. And so it rounds to 0, and 0 time passes. We're going to... that will hopefully fix that. So I'm going to put all that back, and... we go and try this again, hopefully with animation this time. Nope. It is being continuously reset to 0. Which makes some sense. That's... no. Oh, okay. That was it. I remember that even. I just didn't use... Okay, so what was going wrong? I was telling it that 32 milliseconds passed, but it interpreted that as the time is now 32 milliseconds, which is a different interpretation. It's okay for a... Alright, it interpreted that as 32 milliseconds passed since the start of the animation, which is... it's kind of like... okay, 1 hour has passed since the start of the stream, versus me telling you 1 hour has passed since I last mentioned this. An hour from now, when we're 2 hours into the stream, I would either have to tell you... like, I would tell you a different number. I would either tell you 1 hour has passed since I last updated you on the stream time, or I would have to tell you 2 hours have now passed since the start of the stream. Anyway, long story short, not a mistake that ultimately was easy enough to solve. So, yeah, whatever, we're just going to do that. Hopefully, for once, we will actually get an animation, but I'm still skeptical because we should have... oh boy. Well, we got something. Oh, and now we got something else. You know, I'm actually... just going to do that instead. So I still need to figure out why no movement is happening. When we have a Bezier curve. I think it's time to go back and look at okay, no, I'm not sure it's time to go back and look at this because it's I've done everything that they did here and I'm just not getting the same animations. Almost everything anyway. So I want to know what uses duration, uses looping, uses delay. Yeah. Neither of us are using any of those. I'm doing all this though. Whoops. Okay, we got something. Or maybe? Why is it suddenly 0 again? It's because I changed that. No, it's not. Okay, what should I change? Yeah, let's use some looping here. Oh, no. I don't know why they track those things separately. They've got a time and they've got an absolute time. Okay, so I think the animation is happening, and what exactly is happening is that all the tiles are flying away. Almost instantly. Okay, I don't know what's up with all that. And it's all... Oh. Okay, fine, fine. We'll go back to doing that. So what I'd like to have is, I would just like it to stop. Okay. So I told it to stop, and now we're going to play it very slowly. Excellent. Playing it very slowly means that the tiles are slightly out of place. Okay, what if we didn't do that? So that was interesting. It starts over. Please... Okay, let's maybe get that off screen, because I didn't give a photosensitive warning. Sorry about that. did figure out how to simplify that code. So we've got the start of kind of what I'm looking for, but well, this may look familiar. It's intentional. Don't worry about that. But it's also supposed to be moving, and I don't know why it's not. Let's go look at... Okay, I don't... I mean, in part, yeah. One thing that's very easy to do is I can come over here and... I can rotate the whole thing by a certain amount. I think that may have been the wrong amount. I was supposed to do degrees. Well, it's sideways now. And if I wasn't messing with the... If I wasn't in the middle of messing with all this... we could see that, yeah, the whole thing is now sideways, and I can go a whole 180 degrees and it'll be backwards. I'm pretty sure I can plop a character down in there, and the camera would be all messed up, but the character would be fine running. Anyway. I will go into detail more on what this is and what it's going to accomplish, hopefully later this week. Right now, what I'm trying to accomplish is a cool effect, and I'm not getting it, and I don't know why. But it does seem the animations exist. And that's nice, but it's not updating properly. I mean, it's supposed to just be that. I mean... something important getting blocked? Okay, I need to find engine. It's not in the engine. It speeds it up. Particles are fast because they are optimized for batch processing. It's not actually any more, triangles on screen. Because everything has to be broken down into triangles. There are... I don't know if there are hundreds, but there are definitely... I don't know if there are thousands, but there are definitely hundreds of tiles on screen, and pretty much always have been. That's not the difference. The thing with particles is that it's easy and cheap to move them around. All this is supposed... like, all the same stuff. I'm currently looking through the code for the working example. And all this stuff is very much supposed to be happening in mine, but it won't do it properly. Okay, I'm kind of missing that. Okay, so it... Okay, maybe I need to just try the thing. Maybe if I do that. It's all still sideways. That does not seem to have changed anything. Hey, it's backwards level. Okay, so currently, it's not playing at all. It's not even attempting to play. Okay, potential flickering warning again. Yep. It's flickering. And then it stopped entirely because I don't even know why. Well, we're gonna get rid of that. Interesting. We've got animation. It is meant to be slow, just so that we can see it before it all zooms off. So there's just something about there's something that makes it very slow, and I don't know why that is. It's going to go back to flickering, and I don't know why. Because it's supposed to be just looping over the... Okay, that is very weird. But at least we can see why it goes black more of the time. It's because some of these values are negative. And I don't know why that is. Is it because of rounding? It might be because of rounding. Where was it? I don't know why it needs this value, but that value is why everything is breaking. don't think that was it either. Huh. Okay, so we'll do it that way. So somewhere in here, 4, 3. I think I might just need to reset this thing manually. Or maybe like that manually. No. Man, I wish more of these animations worked, because there could be cool things happening with them. Okay, like this. That's a little fast. And also the delay is not working. The delay is still not working. Or maybe it is. That's not enough. I'm gonna slow it down some more. Oh. Okay, that's not the value to be messing with. I guess I'm not supposed to be using... There's this variable called playback speed. I want to use it to control the playback speed, and when I do, it messes with the timing. No, that's not okay. So I'm doing it myself. I'm not using their variables. That is... I think that's the highest integer value I'm comfortable using. Should be the highest signed 32-bit integer. I think it's technically safe to use 64-bit integers in most cases, but I'm not 100% sure about every device, and this is plenty high. It's a big number. Anyway, what we can do with that is we don't need that information, but if it exists, we'll use it. Yeah, we'll use that for now. Please bear with me. We're adding some important functionality, such as looping. I'm taking the time to program it properly because I hope to be able to use this for all kinds of animations in the future. And the more robust code I use, the better. And with that, we should be able to Okay, we're doing even more code. So, I want to be able to define a function for playback speed based on other factors. No, I don't. That is overkill. Instead, we're just going to do that. There's a function for it, with a lot less code. So I think that does it. Nope, not quite. Oh, we're not done because it needs to be copied over if it exists. Okay, copy that information over. And now it behaves like I want it to, where, okay, that's really slow. Kind of the intent, but not quite. Want it to slow down, but only up to a point. There we are. Still very slow. Okay. So what do I need to know about okay, so all of them need to be true in order for that one. duration, looping, and delay. That's not what I was going for. Not at all. Okay, we're not going to do it that way. Or maybe we have to. I don't want to use duration or looping. I do want to use delay, but that's apparently not allowed. We're going to fix the thing just staying put. Also, I kind of want to turn that back around. So this is not 100% what I'm going for, but stuff like this is the reason that I'm so excited about particles. Is that we can, move all of them independently. Yep. Okay, I set it to stop looping, and it had already finished the first animation. Or something. Or maybe that didn't even take effect. Okay, we're going to do that so that I control whether it loops. Press space to play the animation again. So, yeah, that's a little more like what we can do, is just have this. This is not the exact animation I would want to use, definitely, but, and I would really want to use delays. Without looping. But something like, imagine that as you were running through that, or even better, we can add some randomness to the equation. And once we add randomness, I think the one final touch is it needs to be a little faster. A lot faster, apparently. Yeah, overall, this sort of thing, still not quite there, but this sort of thing is pretty much the reason that I have been spending so much time trying to work on particles. See that at an angle, because we can. And it's efficient to render, too. But yeah, Can do that, and hopefully also crumbling tiles falling away. Those are a little more complicated for reasons I will have to get into later. Hopefully the efficiency will be there. I have to compile it each time I want to change the camera angle because I didn't finish programming the camera before we started. I might be able to make use of all this. That should be overkill, and then duration looping delay. Getting no reaction when it loops. Mostly. No, I'm getting no reaction. Okay. Man, that isn't even helping. And I'm going to go back to what we had before. Bear in mind that... actually, I'm going to test it off screen just in case. Oh, hang on. It might actually have started... Oh no. I'm sorry, Okay, I'm going to test this. I think it's broken. I feel like it ought to work. Okay, well, what we have is this. So everything just vanishes for a tiny amount of delay. But nothing delays for very long. So I think I have to... Duration, looping... Okay, yeah, delay. No, I'm not about to make sense of all this. If it was written in a more understandable way, maybe I could figure out what's wrong, but... Okay, so now we don't have vanishing, because I don't even know why. I don't know why it vanished before, I don't know why it's not vanishing now. I'm going to go realign the camera. Actually, technically, I'm not rotating the camera at all. I'm rotating the tunnel itself, which is an important distinction for backwards tunnels. But that's not what we need here, so it's not all that important. The delay between cycles of the particle. Oh, maybe I don't want delay, I want start time. Or maybe I don't, because it's all vanishing. Let's see if we do that. No, let's see if we do that. Well, that's really weird. And also backwards. So what does start time do, anyway? Because apparently setting it to any value that isn't 0 Oh, I get it. No, I know why it's messed up. It's because... it's because we're playing this backwards. No, that's not what I want. I mean, I do want different start times. And I do understand why it's backwards now, but before that whole start time thing, time equals 0, set the position to 0. We're going to do that backwards, and it is still going to make most of them disappear. Oh man, we don't even get to see most of them. Maybe if we do that, we can see it better. I mean, I know it's all going to disappear in the end, but... I want to get this at a different angle. Glad you enjoy the games, and I hope you keep enjoying them. So somewhere in here... Okay, yeah, so the point here is that they're sort of arriving in order, and perhaps that would be best shown at a 90-degree angle. So let's do a 90-degree angle. The thing is that they all vanish the moment they lock into place, which I definitely need to find a way around. And I'm thinking I will need to adjust how it handles time. I also... Oh, maybe I don't... Well... I think that may have helped with a different thing. Yeah. No. They're all moving at a constant speed. And that's probably because that's divided by 2. If I want to bias it, I probably need to divide by something other than 2. Or not. No, that still seems pretty direct. Okay, let's do something a little more extreme to get a better idea. Does it normalize that? I want to get these to move slower as they approach, but honestly, it's fine as is. Actually, we're not going to do that there. We're going to do that there. Even more randomness. Okay, this randomness isn't that obvious, but it's fine. Yeah, what I really want is for them to stay visible. And I think that is somewhere in this code, which I don't really understand. If time equals 0, set the position to 0. So I'm a little worried about that being the issue. Greater than or equal to. Let's suppose I get rid of that. Okay, that's a start. That might do it. It did. Look at this, we have a complete tunnel again. But this time, the difference here is that it's being built from left to right. So let's make the time difference a little more meaningful. Like that. And now let's go look at that from straight on. So yeah, I think another step will be sort of synchronizing this up, that as you go, tunnel build itself ahead of you. And I don't know that this will make it into the Explore mode of Run 3, but into non-canon modes, definitely. But I think for now, that's all. This is kind of what I had hoped to get. And it's what I got. Well, no, we're not quite done. I do need to adjust that speed, because it comes together at the wrong rate, I still think. Oh, are we not done? Oh, okay. Oh boy. Might be a little fast, but yeah, something like that. Man, now I wish I had a longer level here. I think that could be done, though, if I just take the level data and make another copy of it. Oh dear. Loading is not as efficient as I had hoped. So we need, for twice as long a level, we need twice as long an animation. Okay, at some point I will need to figure out where the lag is coming from, because I really don't think it needs to lag that much when loading. I really think it can be efficient. So yeah, we have double level and Nice. I mean, even if loading is slow, rendering should be pretty good. Okay, one last time through, and then I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. And I will see you some other time.